A well-known seamstress turned civil rights activist once said, "I have learned over the years that when one's mind is made up, this diminishes fear. Knowing what must be done does away with fear." And that seamstress was none other than Miss Rosa Parks. And this evening, you'll have the opportunity to hear Rosa Parks' story, and it'll be told in a fearless new way. That is going to be told from the perspective of award-winning journalist Soledad. She is visiting Florida A&M University's campus to talk about her new documentary called The Rebellious Life of Mrs. Rosa Parks. And I invited FAMU's Dean of Social Sciences and Theater Director, Dr. Valencia Matthews, into our studio to talk about the impact of the film. Here's just some of what she had to say. What insights do you feel from this film, from Soledad, will better shape the conversations that we're having around civil rights, around Rosa Parks, and how it impacts Tallahassee?
I think one of the things that's really important about this film, that is this documentary, is we're talking about Mrs. Rosa Parks in a different way. We get to see her in her full development in 3D, and I think that was the focus from Soledad. She wanted to make sure that as we look at civil rights leaders, that we understand that they are human.
Towards that goal, I set out to find someone in Tallahassee who may have been able to speak about Rosa Parks' humanity.
Rosa is a homegirl.
That's author and former Tallahassee Mayor Dorothy Inman Johnson.
She is my shero. And what she did was very difficult.
Born February 4th, 1913, Rosa Parks is most often valued for her refusal to give up a seat to a white man on a segregated city bus in Montgomery, Alabama. What's less readily known is how the woman known as the First Lady of Civil Rights lived a life dedicated to social change long before she took a stand by staying seated.
If it's difficult to stand up for justice today, think what it was like way back then when black people had almost no rights.
More than 10 years before inadvertently launching the 1955 bus boycott, Parks served as secretary for her local NAACP chapter as early as 1943, eventually also founding the Montgomery NAACP Youth Council.
In Birmingham, I was part of the youth movement in the civil rights movement during the time the 16th Street Church was being bombed and many ministers' homes were being bombed. And I have carried with me a lot of that. So I thought it was almost like God had planned it, that I would be the mayor of Tallahassee at the time Rosa Parks visited, and have the opportunity to present her with the key to the city.
Hearing Johnson's full circle story, I turned back to Dr. Matthews and the conversation O'Brien's new documentary will open on campus. We see young people at the forefront of critical movements in history, as they were in the civil rights movement, as can be true and said of some of the situations now. Why do you feel this is important specifically to students who are attending a historically black college or university?
Because I think they need to understand, and we need to understand, that the fight is not over, that it is on the front lines again. And Florida A&M University students, we've always been there. They've always been there. And I think the thing that they need to see is that we still need them, that they have a voice, that they have energy that carries into the future, and that we're depending upon them.
Now you'll hear some of the facts about Miss Rosa that I mentioned there in tonight's screening, which starts at 6 p.m. in Lee Hall Auditorium, and there will be discussion from Soledad O'Brien to follow.